As crime rises nationwide, retailers are getting creative to protect their products. They've got to. In Philly, a gas station owner has hired, look at those guys, armed security guards with big guns to keep away the crooks, while Walmart CEO warns thefts could raise prices on everybody, or even worse.
Yeah, theft is an issue. It's higher than what it's historically been, and we've got safety measures, security measures.
Does that matter?
If that's not corrected over time, prices will be higher, and or stores will close.
And how much of that, though, do you have to go state by state and actually work on that issue? I mean, you see videos now.
No kidding. Here to weigh in, former Home Depot chairman and CEO Bob Nardelli. Bob, good morning to you.
Good morning, Steve. It's good to be with you. Thank you.
You bet. I don't know if you saw that picture, those images a couple of days ago from a Home Depot where a guy with a cart full of stuff just pushed an old man out of the way who was working for Home Depot, and he hit his head. Next thing you know, he's dead. So it's not just retail, and this is where it happens right there. That man would die a few days later. It is heartbreaking to watch, but that just goes to show you it's not just retail theft, it's murder in that case.
Yeah, Steve, it's very, very unfortunate. I'm sure that, when I was there, and Ted Decker has the same policy to protect our associates, not to interfere, not try to stop something like that that could result in that casualty. So that was very, very sad. But let me just say this. If I look back a couple of decades when I was there, shrink was in the lower single-digit %. Mm-hmm. Now it has elevated to the point where you've got Doug McMillon talking about impacting earnings. And this is another silent contributor to inflation. So theft used to be something, we put in risk prevention and inflation control devices back then. We put in cameras, we put in other protective devices, RFID. So if you went through the exit and you didn't pay, would have to go back through a scanner. But today, this thing is an epidemic. It's spreading faster than COVID, Steve. And the degree of severity of now it's not just theft, it's smash and grab. Yeah. There's an entitlement out there that if you have it, you've worked hard to earn it, I want it, I'm just going to take it. Whether it's a car or the video you showed of the individual walking out with those sprayers, 5, 6, 7 sprayers, yeah. As long as it's under $800 to $1,000, it's kind of an entitlement. You can take it. Yeah. And that's just having a tremendous impact. Our associates are afraid. The retail salespeople are afraid. Consumers are afraid. We've got to get control of this. And Steve, if the administration doesn't get control of this, they're abdicating it to the businesses, both public and private. The issue you saw there with the gas station, that's something I saw very common traveling the globe. When I would go to Mexico City, you'd see it. Yeah. When I was in Cali, Colombia, I saw it. I never thought we'd have armed guards at a gas. I was used to, you too, Steve, when somebody was at the gas station, they would check your oil and wash your window. They're not there with a gun to protect you, so you're not carjacked while you're filling your tank.
You're absolutely right.
It's unbelievable what's happening and what we're allowing to happen. And again, unfortunately, the abdication is putting in the hands of corporations like Walmart, Target, and the gas stations, for example, that have to take control and protect their property and their employees.
And Bob, you brought up the consumer. People are afraid to go Christmas shopping. They're doing a lot of shopping online because they don't want to go in the store and be caught between a guy with a gun and a clerk who's saying, hey, put that thing down. So ultimately, it can impact, and we just heard from the CEO of Walmart, it's going to impact their bottom line unless they jack up prices or close stores. But if it impacts the bottom line, that impacts the stock price, which impacts people's 401ks, which means a less beautiful retirement, ultimately. If you're invested in companies that lose stock price, that's not good in your 401k, but that's what's going to happen if people are afraid to shop.
Yeah, Steve, it used to be somebody would take a candy bar. There maybe was damage as a result of shipment. There was misplaced inventory. But now it's just blatant robbery. It's just blatant robbery. It isn't the small incidents that take place. This is just blatant. Whether
it's organized.
In drugstores, whether you see it in grocery stores. The other thing is the more doors you have, the more in and out doors, the higher susceptibility you are to theft. So if you take a grocery store, for example, one door in and out, yeah. That's a built-in protection. When you have something like Home Depot with multiple doors, again, you're unfortunately subjecting yourself to a lot more robbery. And that's what's happened. That's what happened the other day with that poor gentleman, Steve.
Yeah, I think he was 82 years old, older guy.
He was.
God rest his soul. Bob, nobody knows more about retail than you. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Steve. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir.